Q&A, so you want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Mark Beno. I am a videographer, photographer. I'm a part-time strength coach. I graduated from St. Ambrose. That's how I know Lillian. So yeah, I'm super excited to do this Q&A today. So I kind of got started in high school, a little bit of junior high. I actually got my first GoPro. I got a GoPro Hero 5. I ended up editing all kinds of fun little like snowmobiling, dirt biking videos on that, literally right on my phone. So I always had like that interest. And then once I got to college, I had a wedding photographer friend. And I would always see he would be on these crazy like cool adventures, taking photos and stuff. So I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna piggyback off that. I'm gonna get myself a camera, and I got myself a camera, a little Sony A6000, and I essentially was just shooting, having fun with it. Then I met a guy named Dan Ormanston at St. Ambrose. He was the videographer for the St. Ambrose marketing department, and he essentially, I was like, hey, can I come shadow you for a day? He's like, hey, how about you just come work for me part-time in the marketing department? So I actually worked under him for about a year and a half. He taught me all my fundamentals with videography and photography. Dan, if you're watching this, thank you. No, but awesome. Yeah, so I learned so much. And then Dan actually left. And for about, like a 6-month period, I took over a lot of the responsibility over at St. Ambrose in the marketing department. And from that point on, I kind of decided, I was like, hey, I'm going to do this as a career. I'm going to do it full time. But that's how I got my start and stuff, and we're going strong now. So I am a big fan of camera gear and gear in general. I'm a technical guy when it comes to that. I have what's called a Sony A7 III right now. That is my main camera body. Some highlights of that: I can shoot 4K 30, I can shoot 1080 120. Like, this is camera lingo right here, so if you're not getting this, it's okay. But yeah, it'll shoot 24 megapixels. It's a full frame camera. So it's a professional camera. My second camera body is a Sony A6400. So all these, like, everybody wants to know, like, basically like price of these things and stuff. I started with a Sony A6000 that I got for, I want to say, like $400. And now we're looking at like a $2,000 camera body as just one of my camera bodies. So, and then not to mention the computer system, the editing software, the drones, there's 100 other things. But yeah, definitely stepped up the gear game, and it's one of my favorite things about the career for sure. So love my clients. It's I just get to build such great relationships with them. Which makes the job 10 times more fun. It's so much more rewarding. But yeah, St. Ambrose was basically my first ever client. I did stuff for them. Yeah, so I did stuff for them. I obviously with the marketing department. Then as soon as I said, hey guys, I think I'm gonna go branch off on my own. I'm gonna run my own business and stuff like that. They were reluctant to have me leave, that's for sure. But right when I made that switch, and it was my last day, they pulled me into the office and they said, hey, would you be interested in making like an athletics video for us? So granted, like while I was at the marketing department, I was doing a couple other things, like I did, there's a Mexican restaurant that holds a 5K, I did a recap video for them, like some things like that. But once I actually started my business, I filed my LLC and everything. St. Ambrose was my very first client outside of the marketing department. I did an athletics video for them. Then, I gained a client called CrossFit OC3. So I do photo and video for them, Instagram Reels and everything there. Level 2 Fitness in the TBK Sports Complex. I have done all kinds of content, videos, photo for them. Construction company called Bruce Builders. Yeah, so working with a lot of different people. I do weddings as well. That's also super rewarding. Like, it has taken me all over the place. I'm going to Mexico in March here to shoot a wedding. I'm going out to Colorado here eventually as well to shoot some content and stuff. It's my clients are awesome. They're taking me everywhere and stuff, and it's super rewarding to get to just meet people and serve people that way. Okay, so I started on, I think it was the GoPro Quick app. Yeah, I made my first video, like it was a dirt biking video in there. Then I made a couple like snowboarding videos in there. Then finally moved it up to iMovie. So iMovie worked for me for a long time. I would say, yeah, when I first got my Sony a6000, like first semi-professional camera, I edited like everything in iMovie, and that worked out well. But I really quickly found the limits with as far as like video editing, like slow-mo and stuff like that, effects and whatnot, like creative process of actually like layering videos and stuff. It's very hard to do in that. And when I met, or when I went to work for the St. Ambrose marketing department, the first thing Dan had me do is switch over from iMovie to Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, which is professional editing software, and that was extremely hard at first, for sure. And I was like, dude, I just want to go back to iMovie. Like, this is way too much to learn. But thank goodness that he started me right away in that, because I'll tell you what, having awesome cameras is super important. Having awesome gear and everything like that, being able to shoot stuff and direct stuff is great. But I'm telling you, the difference is made behind the computer when you're editing. So I use Adobe Premiere Pro now, and it's going strong. I'm getting into a little bit of animation with Adobe After Effects as well. So yeah, so recently, I didn't mention this before as one of my clients, but North Scott High School is it's my hometown high school that I graduated from in 2018. I actually got the opportunity to make them a football video, a Jumbotron video that plays before each and every one of their home games. That was absolutely awesome because, first of all, I got to go and meet up with some of the players and stuff like that. It was cool to step back in my like home turf and everything, and I got to go film one of the games and be on the field with them and stuff. So that was awesome, super rewarding. I was like, oh man, I'm stepping back in my glory days, playing football there. But yeah, so that video definitely was just probably the most fun so far. But yeah, so I do wedding videos and stuff like that. Typically they're 5-minute highlight videos of the day and everything. So I do that. I've done all kinds of social media reels where I provide companies or clients with, let's say, like 4 reels a month plus some photos, and they go out and post that, and then the next month we're right back to it. I shoot and edit video and photo form so that they can post consistently and they can post professional stuff consistently. But yeah, no, so there's a dance studio that I do content for and stuff. Awesome, super fun to shoot. Like, it's so cool I can shoot a wedding and I can have a creative mindset for that wedding to make it romantic and stuff like that. And then I can go into dance and we can make it so fun and so movement oriented. Then I can go into football and make it so jerky and speed and big hits and stuff like that. It's like, it's cool to just be able to change the mindset up and create. The hard part about having all kinds of different clients in different realms is like managing your time, managing your motivation to edit things on the back end. Like, hey, I'm really not feeling, wedding video editing today. I'm gonna just edit this football video. Well, I really need to edit that wedding video because there's a approaching deadline. So yeah, that's definitely it's a perk to what I do. Is I get to go work for the Steamwheelers, indoor professional football team and stuff, and then I get to go shoot for a studio, and then I get to go shoot for a high school. It's awesome. Business side of things is I've always had the knack for wanting to work for myself and be independent, and I would say I'm a very loyal employee and everything, but I didn't always like the whole boss-worker relationship, so I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna work for myself. Mainly, I'm gonna provide most of my own income and stuff like that, not have to rely on somebody else, So the business side of this industry is just a huge learning curve. Thankfully, I've had great mentors. Dan Ormston's awesome. I have some guys down in Nashville that have helped me a ton. I have my best friend, Matt Umland. I have my best friend, Ryan Reed. we're all in the same creative space, and we are constantly like, hey, how should we price this out? Hey, how should we, approach, maybe trying to sell this client on paying this much a month and stuff like that. So it's really cool that I get to incorporate my family in a lot of different things with my business and then just with fun stuff. I've shot different hunting videos for my dad. I've done different water skiing videos for my mom because, we boat all the time and stuff. That's super awesome. And then also, I've done tons of photo shoots for my sister and whatnot. And then vlogging, of course. I don't do I don't release a ton of vlogs, and that's okay, but I shoot a lot of them. But yeah, no, I've released one that was really, really fun that shows me up in good old the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and stuff, snowmobiling, and my uncles are in that video, my dad's in that video. It's really cool that I get to also document it and just keep it for myself as well as show it to other people too and what we're doing. For sure. So I'm a big coffee guy. I literally bounce around to every single QC coffee shop there is, and I'll sit down for hours on end and stuff and stare into that computer. So my top ones right now, and not in any particular order. So the Vault in Eldridge, Iowa. 392 here in Davenport, downtown Davenport, and then also in Bettendorf. Iron and Grain, where we're at now. And then a little bit of Red Band. I'll drive through there and I'll grab my coffees and stuff, go back home and edit. But yeah, a little bit of Dunn Brothers and stuff. That's over, closer to Bettendorf. But yeah, those are my main spots to edit. You can find my content mainly on my Instagram page. So my Instagram page is Beno44, Beno 44, and then my business Instagram page is linked up to that, but it is Lightning Creative LLC. And then my website is the other thing that has a lot of my content as well, and that is lightningcreative.co. But yeah, other than that, I definitely recommend check out my Instagram and stuff like that. I post pretty often and stuff, and I get to post some pretty cool things. But yeah, thanks so much for having me and everything like that.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.